Hello, lovely people. How are we all doing today? So, I watched an interesting masterclass by Ben Greenfield on the Mind Valley platform, and he asked a question which I thought was really, really fascinating. So, the person who was interviewing him, Vishen Lakhiani, was saying that supposedly there's these new tests that have been doing that because people are living longer and longer and longer, that they're actually saying that like people my age will easily live into their 80s and their 90s, and then like people our children's age will easily live into their hundreds and even in beyond. But the really interesting thing that I thought about that is then they asked, well, what if you knew you were going to live to be 100? What would you do with your life? Or rather, even what would you not do? So what they were selling was a course called the Longevity Blueprint, which is basically not just to how to live to be 80, 90 or 100, but how to live well. So, I'm very much into my fitness and nutrition and everything. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to cope with my studio schedule and my teaching all these lovely children. But it got me thinking one step further. So not just will I teach children and be dancing and still until I'm 60 or 70, but then what will I be doing then beyond those years? Will I still have the joint mobility? Will I still have the muscle mass? And they're actually seeing that the whole idea of how as you get older, how you age can actually be a lot down to what you choose to do with your life. So the whole longevity blueprint is about training up your mobility and training up your muscle mass and making sure that your bone density and everything stays throughout your life. So the question that I really pose is, what would you do if you knew that you were going to live to be 100? And I actually just felt like, I just completely relaxed, because I'm like, well, if I have until 100, then I don't need to read like all of those books right now. And that kind of whole sense of rush and urgency kind of just left me. But instead, it made me think, well, how much more time do I need to dedicate to making sure that not only do I live longer, but I live well as I get older? Because what's the point in living to 100 if 20 years of those you're just sitting and you don't have the range of mobility, or you're injured or anything else? So that is my question to you. What would you do? What would you do differently today if you knew you were going to live to 100? Would you go out for that extra walk? Would you lift those weights? Would you drink that smoothie? What would you do now to make sure that you could create not just a longer life, but a healthier life and a life with more purpose? Okay, I hope that helps you today, and have a wonderful day.